What's going on? This is Ryan with Automatic Comics, and you are going to want to stay tuned for this video because this is really important. This is related to that CGC scam thing that seems to be going on right now. And I think I have the actual proof of what has been happening. So stay tuned. We are going to go over this. I think this is a real important video. All right. So before we get started, please remember to hit that like button and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to see more content like this. So I don't know if you've seen these videos or not that have been put out recently by Mickey over at Swagglehouse Comics at West Coast Avengers, who's been working with the 99 newsstand, who originally reported this. But basically, what's been happening is it appears that there have been some books that are being that have the same serial number from CGC that have been officially slabbed there that have different books inside the case. And so I think that I have found the proof, the actual proof of this, and I think it's pretty convincing. So I wanted to make this video as quickly as I could. So this may feel a little rushed, and I may have some editing issues and that kind of thing, but just kind of go with me here. So I'm going to share my screen real quick just to give you a little background in case you aren't familiar with this. This is from the 99 newsstand. He posted this a few days ago. Yeah, so 4 days ago. And this was an Amazing Spider-Man 252. And basically what it is we have a 9.8 newsstand copy that sold, and then we have a 9.8 Mark Jewelers newsstand that sold. Now, they have the exact same cert numbers, but they are clearly different books. Now, from what I understand from what the 99 newsstand had said was that I think they reached out to the person and he said that, and I'm speculating, I don't know if this is how that conversation actually went or not, but that, you know, this book had been purchased, the 9.8 newsstand. They realized, oh, it had a Mark Jewelers insert, was mislabeled by CGC. They sent it in to get reslabbed and to get that, you know, that Mark Jewelers notation on there. And you might wonder, well, why would you do that? Well, that's because the Mark Jewelers sells for like $12,000 and the non-Mark Jewelers sells for like $2,500. So it's like $9,000+ difference in value between these two books. So the thing that really caught the attention, though, was that when you start zooming in on these two, you notice that the wraps aren't the same. There are some flaws on one that aren't on the other. And so it basically looks like they're two different books. So this started these kind of like investigations, like posts on the CGC forums, people making all kinds of videos, everything like that. And there seem to be multiple cases of this happening with the same seller, but still everything is speculation without some kind of like a little more concrete proof. So I was watching Mickey's recent update video on this. And one of the things that we had been talking about maybe a day ago or so in a chat I'm in was that like this could be used in some really bad ways. Like if somebody has found a way to like swap in books, or maybe they're like cracking it just a little bit to slide it in, and then they reseal it with glue or something, and so that CGC doesn't think that anything's wrong, and they're just like going through their normal reslabbing process. I mean, one of the ways I had mentioned, I was like, man, like you could do this with like a Hulk 181, and someone could buy a copy that is missing the Marvel value stamp, like a green label copy, and then they could crack that out, keep it in its inner well, and then slide that into a universal case and then get it reslabbed. And now you have your buy-in cost as very low for this universal book, and you can make thousands of dollars flipping that. And then you're basically stealing from the buyer because they think they're buying a complete copy and they aren't. And if they ever go to crack that out or to try to press and clean it, you know, that kind of thing, they're going to just get screwed at that point. They're going to have a copy that doesn't have that Marvel value stamp. So he was talking about an example that this seller had. And so if you go onto eBay where these sold listings are, and you can see all these, you know, sold listings, here's that ASM 252. Oh, I was off. It's 15,000. So even more. So here's the ASM 252. But one of the books that Mickey pointed out was this one. So it's this Hulk 181 9.0. You know, and you look at it and you're like, you know, it's probably a 9.0. It's got this little crease in the corner, but it's a decent enough looking copy. But we look at the serial number, and Mickey did this on his channel. You know, you've got 4265040003. And so if you go to GPA and you search for that serial number, you can find it here. And so this is the one that sold. But the strange thing is, it also sold here. And so you had one sale for 10 grand, and you had that same serial number pop up for sale a little bit later for a $3,000 loss. And you'd go like, well, why would somebody resell it for, a $3,000 loss that close together? And so you'd think like, well, maybe because they swapped something in. So he and Mickey covered this. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here. If you look at this book, and we see like this very specific flaw here. We'll go with this one, this corner crease in the upper corner here. And then we go to Go Collect. We can go and find that sale. So we saw here on GPA that sale was back in July of this year. And so we go to Go Collect where they have all the images and everything. We go July 10th. That's this sale right here, $9,995. Click on that one. And here we go. No crease here, no white along the spine. I mean, it's very obviously a different book. We've got the spine tick right there where the Hulk is. There's no spine tick here. It's clearly a different book, right? So this is not the same book that is in that case with the exact same serial number. But what I was wondering was, where did this book come from? Could I find this book? And with Go Collect, because they've got those images, I was pretty sure if I just took a little time scanning through, I might be able to find that book. And I figured I'd be looking for probably either a restored book that is of a similar grade, somewhere between an 8 and a 9, or a qualified book, a book that was missing the Marvel value stamp. And so I started searching through, and so you can see here, I went to Go Collect, search for Hulk 181, started scrolling through all these listings, and I got to the 200 or here. So it's like the 200th listing, page 20. And then we see this book, and we've got Hulk 181 qualified, Marvel value stamp missing. This is the same book. So let's scroll in, get a little closer look at this one. And we've got the exact same corner crease here. We've got the exact same spine roll. This was the big thing I was looking for as I was scanning through images, because that was going to be the quick way for me to find this, was that miswrap. Got the exact same, so sorry, not spine roll, but miswrap. Exact same miswrap. Got the same little spine tick right here next to Hulk. I mean, this is the same book. It's absolutely the same book. You've even got, like the little Marvel groups, Marvel Comics group. It slopes up a little bit there. This one here slopes up a little bit. I mean, we could start looking at other things too, like where Hulk's arm crosses, what type of because that's the other thing you can do is you can look at where the wrap lines up. But yeah, I mean, this is what I was looking for. To me, this is the very obvious proof of what was going on. I had tried to do this with some of the other books that I had seen, and I wasn't able to find that copy that was swapped in. But when Mickey showed this Hulk 181, I was like, that's a really common book. Like, that's one that I bet is going to have an image that I can find. And yeah, I mean, there's really no question. There's no question that this is what's going on. So now the thing is here now that, I mean, I think CGC really has to get involved with this. I know that there's a forum out there for it. So I'm sure that they are aware of this. I don't know what their actions might be, what could be done about this, but at least, like, if you're someone that watches my channel, or someone, that has purchased one of these books recently, you should be very concerned about what you purchased. It brings all of these into question. I mean, all of them are auctions. And the reason someone would be willing to auction like big books like this is that they know they're going to win no matter what. And so I think it just brings, I mean, because almost all these are they're like 9/8s, 9/6s for a lot of this stuff. I mean, who knows? I mean, maybe even you swap in a Fantastic Four, number 4, like who knows what could be done there. And I mean, you might not think that some of these would have that big of a deal, but like if you look at, say, a New Mutants 98, a 9/6 Mark's Jewelers newsstand, the 9/6 just normal newsstand goes for maybe $700. This one went for $3,000. That's an instant $2,000 by swapping in that book. And yeah, I'm just, so yeah, if we don't know for sure if all these have been, have had that done to them. I mean, you've got to check the book yourself. You've got to look into this yourself. But I mean, at least the one that we know for sure is this Hulk 181. I mean, this is absolutely what happened. Like, this is the smoking gun, in my opinion, that people have been looking for when you're trying to find a book, the image of a book that has been swapped in. And in this case, it was, It was this Hulk 181, 8.5, missing the Marvel value stamp. Same thing. So, in the words of Chief Wiggum,
Bake 'em away, toys.
What'd you say, Chief?
Do what the kid says.